Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not feeling Collision. I'm not saying it's all crap here. It's not. But there is no guidance. I tried to do this video earlier. I know I don't have to say this kind of stuff. Many people are saying, why are you telling us that you messed up and you're doing this? It's part of my working process because I'm trying to explain this to you guys. At least for what few are going to watch this. That the way I work, sometimes if I botch more than a few times, it helps with the process of trying to do the review and trying to explain it to you. And I'm also a very transparent person because there are people who watch these videos, whether it's me or Sleg Daddy or JD or even Alex, that are thinking about doing podcasting, and I'd rather say it. I know just Alex is not saying it. Very rarely ever says the process behind the scenes other than he's trying to bring something around where he's trying to grow his fan base and make some money. I understand it. Just Alex does it. JD does it. I understand that. They're making their actual living off this. I am not. So if I help anybody who wants to become a podcast and go to what they are, there's nothing wrong with saying it. And it's part of my thought process. That you this show doesn't have guidance. There is no CM Punk. Adam Copeland has not filled in the position of CM Punk where he's on this show every day. There's no one there. So it feels empty. Let's start with AR Fox versus Swerve. Now, as far as I remember, these two have been interacted for more than a month or two. I can't remember how long it's been since they interacted when they did the storyline with Swerve, AR Fox, and Darby and Nick Wayne. I think that's months ago. What, 3 months ago? 2 months ago? I don't remember how long it's been. At least maybe 2 months, maybe near 2. And we have not seen them interact at all. And now we get this explosion in our face when Swerve tries to do an interview and he's pretty much getting his ass handed to him by AR Fox before they even have the match. I'm telling you this, it felt so blank because there's no build into it. They just threw the match out there instead of spending the next couple of weeks saying, well, AR Fox is going to get a match against Swerve Strickland. Instead of building up into it, like maybe 2 months, not 2 months, 2 weeks. You see, I'm botching here. You know why? Because there's nothing here. AR Fox gained nothing from getting his ass whooped. And he got his ass whooped. And once you had, well, who came out after it was all over? Once the rest of the mobile affiliates come out, and then we get, well, let me give it to you like this. Mobile affiliates came out, the tag champs came out, FTR came out, and LFI came out, and that's Ruch's group. It was just one big smudge, and guess what? AR Fox gained nothing. He was just laying there on the ground, or on the mat for a little while, then he helped to beat them up, but then, when we get the final match tonight, he's not involved in it. He gained nothing out of this. Neither did Swerve, for that matter. It was more about FTR dealing with LFI than anything else. And it doesn't mean it even was a good way doing it either. I'm botching here so much. This just felt disjointed. It really doesn't feel like there's any type of booking that's long-term. This is incredible short. I don't know why I'm botching so much. Let's move on. And here where it gets worse. Lance Archer versus Darby Allin. Now, they did talk about it in the beginning of the show, yes. But let me tell you 100%, even with Jake the Snake by his side, do you actually believe they're going to do anything with Lance? How many years has Lance been working with AEW on and off? And have they ever pulled the trigger on him to be a guy they can trust with a title? Nope. Have he been a staple of AEW? Nope. Has he just been there to be muscle and destroy people, but then when he needed to win in the clinch, he can't? Yes. That is what we get from Lance Archer. Every single time Lance is on the show, he beats the shit out of people, but then when it comes to someone important who's small, he can't get it done. He can't win titles. And then when it's got to be an important match, he can't even win an important match. He just went up against Darby Allin, who's already beaten the hell up after what's been going on with Luchasaurus, what's been going on with Christian. I would understand he should lose. He's beaten up, but guess what? Now, I'm not saying the match was bad. And since this was supposedly the first time they ever met one another in this ring in AEW, it was important, special. Didn't mean nothing. It meant nothing. Nothing. He comes back and he can't get it done to a beaten up and shoulder messed up Darby Allin. And then hearing how he's so messed up with his throat. Well, of course, he had surgery on his throat cancer. And pretty much, he says this is not the only monster. And here's the thing about Jake the Snake. Jake, he was one of the best when it came to promos. That man knew how to talk. He didn't even remember his damn lines. He didn't barely remember what he needed to say. I'm not saying he's drinking or anything. It was like at the last minute he's been given something to say. And then the Righteous comes out. We get Dutch and now we get Vincent. No problem with me because at least now they're getting more work on Collision because I thought they would do better on Collision than RH. But what are they saddled with? The Righteous is saddled with Jake the Snake Roberts, who can't remember his lines very well. A losing Lance Archer, yes. He does his final move on Darby Allin, destroys him, which meant nothing because he lost the match anyway. And they're going to be dealing with this. Does this mean they're going to be dealing with Darby Allin? No. No. You're not going to be seeing Darby Allin in this situation. Now, maybe, yes, when it comes to Darby and Adam, as well as for a Sting who's nearing the end of his run in the ring. Hopefully he's still working in the back. There's just nothing there. Next, let's go to, this was the only thing that was funny and I liked. The 69-day celebration for the Acclaimed. Now let me make this clear. Caster, he raps his ass off. He's so good. Boeing, he's well liked. His voice is so prominent. But guess who is over the most? Who made the crowd there literally chant and call out for the Acclaim? It was Daddy Ass. Billy Gunn, at 60 years old now, is more over than most of what's going on in AEW. I'm not telling you that the Acclaim is not over with him. But you can see the Acclaim, when that segment started, they weren't cheering that much. Not until Daddy Ass got involved and said, I can't, am I going to be doing everybody 69? I mean, I'm not going to be doing what? And he managed with that little bit to start getting them to chant loudly. I'm not saying Boeing and Cass are not over. They are. People love them. They love the Acclaimed. But you cannot tell me that Billy Gunn, at the age of practically 60, I'm sure he's nearly 60 or he is 60, he literally is so over with the fans. No matter where he works, he's always going to be cheered. And he's being cheered here. Now, here's where the 69 trophy, the 69 trophy, the Sit of Me 69 trophy is brought into the ring. They had the confetti. They were celebrating. They brought in the champion. Well, it's kind of like a championship, I guess, for the trios champions. Their 69th day, and then Cass is making sure it's 69, and then we have another 69 and another 69 and saying, stop it, Max! Because pretty much Max just loves to keep going as a Zoomer. He is a Zoomer. Let's make it clear. He's a Zoomer. He don't know no better. He don't know no better. But here's where it gets so stupid, confusing. A good match from it. I'm not going to tell you the match was bad for the Trios Championships, but it was stupidly booked, stupidly built. You got Castle and the boys coming out. Now, I didn't know if there was some interaction because of Rampage. We know that The Acclaim has an open contract when it comes now, because I didn't know they had an open contract to just face anybody. But suppose he had an open contract. Castle and Boys came in. Castle was being cheered on by a Billy Gunn. Everyone was liking Castle. Everyone was liking the Boys. And one of the Boys brought in the 69th trophy. Castle grabs it, holds it, and they're saying it's not yours. And he breaks it. And I'm going, okay, maybe it's because they got beat because of Rampage. No. This was to set up the match that was supposed to happen less than a few minutes later. This was dumb. Was the match bad? No, I'm not telling the match was bad. But you could not build up I'm angry that this match couldn't have been built up over a couple of weeks. They couldn't just come out, say they want a shot. The Acclaim said, look, you have to wait until after we do our 69 celebration. And Dalton Castle gets upset and breaks the damn trophy and builds into a match. That would be understandable. They want the damn titles. They can't get the 6-man tag titles from ROH, so they're now going after the AEW trios. That's understandable. I'm fine with it. But couldn't you spend the next 2 weeks or something building up for Collision? Dalton Castle. I actually like him. His personality with the Boys is actually quite interesting. They're kind of similar to the Acclaim. They've been around longer than the Acclaim. And I actually understand it. You couldn't just build up into it. They just threw it out there so they can just get a match done for the Acclaim so they can have something that's special. Really? That wasn't special. Yes, the Acclaim won. And it was funny. I liked the match. But it was dumb. I don't know about anybody else. Maybe they just blow over and say, oh, it's just a match. No, it's wrong. We got nothing there. Let's move on to the match that angered me even more. Emi Sakura versus Willow Nightingale. Yes, we got an interview between Willow. We got a little Statland. We got a little Sky Blue. Pretty much Sky Blue was thanked for not joining Julia. And she said, I did it for Willow. I didn't do it for you. And that was the Statlander. And Statlander wants to be friends with Willow, but it's not going to happen. So at least I will say they're trying to start something between Willow and Statlander. Fine. But this is where, if I'm pronouncing the name right, Joshi female wrestlers from Japan, no matter what promotion they're from, gains nothing. Look at Emi Sakura. Before she loved Joey Mercury and she did that gimmick there, fine, it wasn't that great. But here as a queen, we don't see her. Now, mind you, maybe she's on ROH and she does it a lot there. But I doubt it. When I was watching ROH, they barely showed her. I see nothing from Emi Sakura where they could be saying that she is the Empress. I am your queen. And you could give her a translator. She can't talk very good English. But from what I can tell, she seems like she can talk English. But they don't build her up. That's one of the women that's been on the show for years. Years, guys. She was there to help Rio get over. She was there to get over Hiro Kushida. She was there to let who? Britt Baker, Selena Deeps. I don't remember if she was destroyed by Jade Cargill. I don't think she ever was. But she went through Red Velvet. I know that. She worked with Kiera Hogan. She has been working with many of the women there, and they do nothing with her. Why? Because she's Joshi? Look, I'm not a big fan of Emi Sakura. But come on. You're only pushing one Japanese wrestler, Hiro Kushida, and that counts if Rio doesn't come back. And from what I can tell, Rio doesn't show up much. So we need more interaction with the Japanese wrestlers, particularly female ones. I'm like, what the fuck? And it wasn't a bad match either. It was not. I didn't hate the match from Emi. And I didn't hate the match from Willow. Honestly. I wasn't surprised Willow won. She was going to win because she's more popular. But if you're really going to start pushing women, Emi Sakura, who supposedly when they started bringing in female Japanese wrestlers, were supposed to be pushed and made important. Why haven't they done anything with her? I'm just saying. Final match. And I know I'm glazing over what happened with MJF and he giving Caster a video. I'm not talking about that now because it really didn't mean anything. Last match was an 8-man tag. FTR and LFI, that's Rush's group, versus the tag champs and the Gates of Agony guys from the mobile affiliates. It was just a straight up brawl. It was barely any type of wrestling in the ring. An 8-man tag, it was just a flat out brawl. That's what it was. Rush did get the pin, yeah. But didn't want to shake hands with FTR for some reason. They did that in the very beginning when they came out in the very beginning with AR Fox and Swerve Strickland. But for some reason they don't want to shake hands. I do not know why. They're asking why, and I'm going like, if FTR doesn't know what the hell is going on, I don't know what's going on, either because it's on Rampage, which I don't think it was. They just didn't want to shake hands with them. Then you see the House of Black, and they're saying that your legacy is more important than you think. It is important to understand how valuable you are. And then it's Buddy Matthews who says, if you don't get it, we're going to beat it into you. What? Then there's a fight. And then guess who comes out? Who saves them? A group that I wouldn't expect to save FTR, and that's the Blackpool Combat Club with Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. Why? Aren't they supposed to be enemies? Have they switched that quickly? I don't even know. What was this show? I got no clue. I don't understand. I'm not going to tell you that all of this was bad. But when it comes to Collision, there is no guidance there. There's no driving force. No CM Punk. No one there every day to give. Look, you see a pyramid. Here you go. A pyramid. That's better. That's better. And there's always someone on top of a pyramid. And everything filters down from that. CM Punk was the driving force for Collision. Adam Copeland now is a part of AEW, but he's not here. Who is there? Nobody. Not even MJF can make it stable. Look, MJF is the current champion. He doesn't even have his title. And that's Jay White holding on to it. Look, Jay Briscoe, and I know I can talk about his match. And to be honest, why am I going to talk about his match? I mean, it was good with Keith Lee and calm down. Look, I'm not even going to talk about the Workhorsemen with Sabian and Keith Lee with a Mark Briscoe and a Dustin Rhodes. I'm not going to say that was a bad match either. But what did it really mean? Sabian and him, Kip Sabian, are going to have a match on Dynamite. What will it give a Mark Briscoe? Nothing. I understand he was hurt for a while, now he's back, but where are you going to go with him? Why couldn't you make him a part of Collision? Why not put him on the top of Collision and make it about him? Let him stay on Collision and try to build this brand because he's still valuable. He still means something. Or a Dustin Rhodes. Put Dustin on top of the pyramid. Put someone on the top of the pyramid that they focus the entire show around. Because without CM Punk, there's no focus. Without no focus, we get this. And I'm not telling you it's perfectly crap. It wasn't disgusting. But I'm just saying. Peace.